All right, welcome back to another TFT Galaxy podcast. We're on episode 13, where we high press on the news and the tactics of the club we love, the LA Galaxy. Today, we're covering the Galaxy news, which includes some comments on our latest episode, big news, the Galaxy signs Justin Haak, and other general Galaxy and MLS news. I'm Eric.
I'm Chris.
All right, how we doing?
Good. Big splash in Galaxy Land that I didn't think any of us saw coming, but we hoped was going to come.
Yes, we did. No one would have expected it. We're going to cover the Justin Haak in a second here. Let's start right away with a couple questions that we got and comments we got from our last video. So, at FanFCSD says, here's this last 2024, I miswrote that, sorry, 2024-2025 season start last year. We played San Diego at home, which was a very good team. No one would have known.
Yeah.
Vancouver away, which was a very good team. We had Champions Cup against Herdanio away. Then St. Louis home, which is a pretty good team. Mm-hmm. Then Champions Cup at home. Then Portland away, always a tough game. Then Minnesota away, a very good team. Orlando at home, a very good team. Champions Cup at home. Real Salt Lake away. That's a 24-25 last season's start. Pretty rough start, I think, looking back. Well, obviously, it was for the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But those are some good teams. San Diego, Vancouver, Portland, St. Louis, Orlando, Minnesota. Some very good teams. Here's this season start, 25-26. We play Champions Cup first, Sporting San Miguelito. Then we play NYC at home. Then Champions Cup at home. Then Charlotte at home. Colorado away. Maybe some more Champions Cup. Then KC at home. Portland away. Minnesota at home. So the question is, this seems like a kinder start to our season compared to last year. What are your thoughts? Is the final third going on any road games this season? Well, let's start with the first one. Do you think this is an easier start for the Galaxy this year?
Yes, because like we said, if you San Diego at home, we're thinking, okay, expansion team against
we're gonna crush them.
Yeah, we're coming in as defending champions, and what just happened? Vancouver away, as we saw, Vancouver was a very good team.
Very good.
Granted, we got them before they made additions to the roster. So like we got them before Thomas Muller arrived,
right?
At least in that first stretch. That St. Louis game at home was so frustrating to watch.
Well, all these were frustrating.
They were all frustrating, but like Portland is never easy to go away and play.
No.
Minnesota away, you're going up and you're playing in Minnesota before.
It's tough.
Yeah, late March, early April, it's going to be freezing. Orlando was good. Champions Cup is always going to be difficult. RSL was kind of the one that was maybe the quote-unquote reprieve.
The most winnable game in that beginning, for sure.
But yes, when you compare this, I do think we have a more favorable Champions Cup draw.
For sure. Sporting San Miguelito, I think, is a much easier game.
Yeah. When you look at the home games with NYC, Charlotte, and Kansas City, and then Minnesota now with potentially a depleted roster, at least for both New York, and we're going to get to that part, and then Minnesota losing the best goalkeeper in the league. Mm-hmm. I think that helps with this push.
Well, NYC is a good team, for sure. Mm-hmm. So we open up against NYC. That'll be a tough game for sure for our first MLS game. And Charlotte at home, that'll be a tough game too. I mean, Charlotte's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. They were a playoff team last year.
Yeah, playoff team. Colorado away. I mean, you're hoping you got to win that one, right?
Yeah.
And KC at home is a must win.
Yeah.
So I think it's easier, but it's still not. I mean, it's not the easiest start because you still have Portland away, which is tough. You have Minnesota, which is a good team. Yeah. NYC, which is a good team. Champions Cup, like you said, they're always going to be tough.
Yeah. So now when he says a kinder start to the season, absolutely. Is it going to be we're going to walk in and we're going to go unbeaten in all the It's possible with the additions we made, but I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a lot kinder than it was.
I think it's a little bit easier, but not astronomically easier. And then is the Final Third going on any road games this season?
Yep.
Well, we usually go independently on some road
Yep.
games, so I don't know. Maybe Chris and I will make a trip.
Well, if you would like, so
I'm being invited to something right now.
if you would like, yes. So with my dad now living in South Carolina, we play Atlanta on May 9th. It's a Saturday, Sunday. But anyway, it's a weekend. He's going to come down from South Carolina, and I'll
Heading
go
out to Georgia, huh?
Yep. So if you want to come to Atlanta,
All right. Well, maybe we'll be in Atlanta. I don't know.
yeah.
We'll see.
So I'll be in Atlanta for sure, whether it's the both of us or just me.
I like to catch usually, now a game in San Diego, which I didn't this last season, but I mean, that's an easy trip to make. And I also go to San Jose and watch
San Jose is a good one, yeah.
a couple of those over the years as well. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll let you know for sure. If we're going to be at an away game, we'll definitely let you guys know.
Yeah. That San Jose one's really fun because they usually move it to a bigger venue.
They haven't recently. That's not true.
No, the one in 2024 I went to in June was moved to Stanford.
Yeah.
So we played in Stanford.
Yeah, they usually
Stadium.
do. They usually do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for that comment. The next one, Cookie Raider 2182. Okay, so there's a couple questions here. Let's just go over the first one. I've been reviewing the past Galaxy conference and table standings. While not extreme, we do tend to yo-yo a bit. Do you think MLS roster rules allow teams to build consistent squads year after year? And if so, what does the Galaxy need to do to become such a team? So first, let's handle this. Chris, do you think MLS roster rules, as you understand them, which is crazy, allow teams to build consistent squads year after year?
Well, as we just saw, no.
No.
As we literally just saw from last year winning the title to this year being one of the worst teams.
It is crazy. And people are, and the fact that the way the calendar works, that people are losing and adding in July, heading into the playoffs. I mean, throw consistency out the window, right? I mean, LAFC had Son in July, and Minnesota loses a top player in July. And it is just crazy in terms of adding and removing new players, let alone the roster restrictions and the fact that the Galaxy had to dismantle their entire MLS championship team because of MLS bonuses and U22s aging up. And I think the answer is no. And I think that's the main problem with MLS is it is very difficult to build consistent squads year after year.
Yeah, depending on who you have on certain roster restrictions. It's crazy to see that, because I think the biggest one we talked about was Dayon, last year being his last year at a certain contract tier or classification. And then it's like, awesome, he's going to hit your cap, by this much more for the 2025 season. So either you have to find a way to make room or sell him. And we chose to sell him.
So what would be interesting, and let's throw out the early years of MLS where it was kind of like DC United and LA Galaxy. In modern MLS, let's say 2000s, 2005 or so and beyond, has any team repeated? I mean, Galaxy did.
That's pretty much it.
And I think that's it, correct?
That was the last repeat champion we've had.
And if you look at that team, Keane, Donovan, Beckham, I think in order to repeat, you have to, and I think Galaxy could have repeated, right? Like if Galaxy could have a healthy Pooj and kept the team together, it was a possible repeat.
Yes, take away the injuries and everything. Obviously, the year-long injury to Ricky, starting off without a healthy Peck for a good chunk of those games.
Yeah.
Like he started the year, but then he was hurt. The two losses of both Gaston Brugman and Mark Delgado, and then Dayon, like we said,
it's so tough
difficult
to build a consistent team year after year. And even now, when we get into the Justin Haak news, you'll see there's a little wrinkle in the Justin Haak thing as well that Bogart brings up. that is kind of like, it's just a weird MLS thing, you know?
But now here's the question though. Since we talked maybe two episodes ago about why how certain teams are able to do it and we aren't. Take away the first couple LAFC years because yes, they were new, they were expansion, they had a lot of freedom to kind of just choose their team. San Diego last year had freedom to choose their team. Mm-hmm. We said LAFC has been in the league since 2018, 19
as LAFC. As LAFC, before.
But yeah, as LAFC, they have not missed the playoffs.
Right.
So
and I think to that point though, building consistent rosters, building a consistent team, you just have to hit your transfers so well, and you got to stay healthy, right? Yeah. And so, you get Nacimiento, who I don't think played as well or as many games as we wanted him to, right? And you get Sanabria, who everyone was kind of high on, and he doesn't kind of play. He gets hurt. He gets like a broken collarbone early in the year. That's not good. And then he's taking some time to settle. And I think you just really have to hit with all your transfers, which is very, very difficult to do.
Yeah.
But I would say what makes it easier to do, which is stay within MLS, because you know what you're going to get. Yeah. And Galaxy has done that so far this offseason. So in the news of Glesnes, you know what you're getting. And now with the news with Justin Haak, you know what you're getting. And I think that makes it a little bit more predictable as opposed to going and getting like Sanabria, who you don't know how well he's going to integrate into the team and into the league. So, but I think it's a very, very difficult thing. And MLS doesn't do the teams any favors in trying to build consistent rosters.
No.
At the cost of parity, right? So the league is pretty even year after year. Everyone's pretty much got a chance. You can go from last to first, as we have done. And we hope, and vice versa, right?
And vice versa.
So the parity in the league is a result of these roster restriction rules, which is both good and bad, I guess. I mean, we're not going to get into this argument, but that's what it is. Question 2, with the talk of divisions to alleviate travel and expansion being possible, what do you think of a 36-40 MLS league divided into two separate 18-20 teams? Each league would play 17 to 19 games home and away with no interleague play until the playoffs, with maybe top 8 from each league going to the playoffs, similar to old school baseball. Do you think this would benefit MLS, or would it kill any credibility it may have had? Well, I don't like it. I don't like. I understand in American sports we have this, right, where you don't play every team, but I think you do lose a lot of credibility if you put a league together like this, where you're not getting the chance to play every team. What are your thoughts?
Well, so number one, I'm going to start with this. You're not going to please everybody with however you set this up. It's not going to be perfect.
Right.
Okay. But if you go with something, you got to stick with it. In this scenario, what I do like is the fact that everybody plays everybody twice. You get
in your conference.
In your conference, right? So
Right.
if we split it up how it is right now, East-West, you play everybody in your conference twice.
Mm-hmm.
Top 8 from each side have their own playoff. Say if you seeded them 1 through 8 and did a home and home all the way, and then you get to the conference finals. You have 2 conference finals winners, and they meet in MLS. That would be the most fair, because it's not like it is now where LAFC is having to go play Miami, where we didn't have to this year.
I think what you lose, though, is storylines, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you lose that East versus West, that LA versus Miami, that LA versus New York.
Now, while you lose that in the regular one, there is a possibility of getting it for the highest stakes possible in the MLS Cup final.
Sure.
And again, like I said, you're not going to please everybody. But in terms of finding out who is the best from one conference versus the best of another one, this in terms is the most fair with the 2 best teams from each conference.
And you could gauge the strength of the conferences against each other,
of course,
and all that. It makes sense in some capacity, but I don't like it, because the thing I like about what they're talking about now with these conferences is that you get to play everybody. So Messi comes to Miami, LA plays Messi. Okay.
Yes.
In 5-6 years, Mbappe comes to New York, LA plays Mbappe in New York. And you get that marquee matchup with your team against every other team.
Yeah. And that's something that splitting it up and doing it how baseball did it for however long, you do lose those opportunities to see some, to potentially see some of the bigger names that are around and to see other teams.
And LA, everyone wants to see the Galaxy, right? When the Galaxy travel, people want to see them. That's a big deal for those visiting, for those home games for the other team, right?
Yeah.
So, Beckham comes to Galaxy and he's selling out stadiums all across the country. It'd be nice if he sold out every stadium across the country as opposed to half the stadiums across the country.
Yeah. And again, there's going to be something left off no matter how you do it.
Yeah, it's true.
And I do think in terms of, like we just talked about parity, and in terms of finding, okay, these two teams are the best teams we have, and they're going to meet and play for the final. But then, of course, you're always going to have the debates of when you look at it up and down, like these two quote unquote tables, and you're going to look and say, well, the 5th place in the East was 9 points better than 5th in the West. So, it's crazy that the 8th place team or the 9th place team that missed out on a playoff spot in one of the conferences would have been like mid-table or even like 4th in the other one.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that.
Yeah, I agree with you. So let's end this with the following then. Just my following question to you. Do you think MLS will do this or not? If you were to guess, are we going to go as high as 36, 40 teams and do 2 conferences? Or do you think we're going to stop at we're at 30, we're going to stop at like 32 and we're going to do what was talked about?
I think because it's been mentioned so much, we're going to get to 32 and we're going to do what we're going to at least start with doing the smaller divisions around the country. And then everybody plays your division twice.
Also,
everybody plays everybody else.
When you add teams, you water down the talent as well, right? Of the whole league by a little bit. There's that expansion draft. They're picking players off of teams. You're spreading out the talent across more teams. I think if you want to grow the league and worry about bringing the entire league up, like that bottom end up, not that top end, but bringing up your bench and stuff, you really got to let the league sit at 32 teams for a while and let things kind of settle and invest more in the rosters than in the expansion.
Yeah, and I do think that there is a cap on this because, like you said, I think 30 teams right now is pretty good. 32 would be, at least in my opinion, the max you would want to go because, like you said, you start getting to 36 and 40. Now you're just adding teams for the sake of adding teams.
It's tough to follow storylines in a 36-40 team. It's going to be tough enough with 32 to follow storylines.
Well, and think about this. So if in this proposed scenario, you're playing, right? So if you play 19 games home and away, that's a 38 game season. We haven't even done playoffs.
Yeah, that's a lot of games.
So many games.
A lot of games. Yeah.
Now say we did this at 15. Say we did this just right now and we split it. We split it right now. You're 15 East and you're 15 West. Everybody stayed in their thing. There's 30 games, and then you're playing anywhere. You're playing something close to 40 games if you make it all the way to the MLS Cup finals.
Even that's a lot because you still have to factor in cups and Champions Cup and all that. And,
absolutely.
And when you think about like Europe, and they do that too. Man, their rosters are so deep. It's ridiculous, right?
Their rosters are deep and they don't have these types of restrictions.
Right.
So now the talent pool could get deeper, but the restrictions would have to be lifted.
Right. I mean, the talent pool's got to get deeper.
Now maybe not lifted, but modified.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a modification to league rules as a whole is going to have to come in if you tried to do something like this. With this many games and you're still having, call it your top 16 teams now, right? Because we're doing the top 18 for Leagues Cup. So in this format, call it the top 16. If you just send the 16 playoff teams, they're playing Leagues Cup. If you're in the if you meet the criteria for Champions Cup, then you're at it. Yeah, it's crazy.
So I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, especially listening to how tough it was to get across the calendar change, and like everything's got to go through all these owners. I think we're a long ways away from doing anything like that. But
yeah, now again, could it happen? Absolutely. And personally, for parity, I do like it. So we may disagree on that, but
I don't like it,
and
because I want to see Galaxy play every team.
I'm with you.
Right?
But if this is the direction where it goes, like if they ultimately vote on it and do this, would I be upset about it?
If they go this direction, it would simply be just to cut down on all that travel, which it would do. I mean, it would do wonders for cutting down on travel.
Yes, it would.
100%. But all right. Well, let's move on. The biggest news we got, and I mean, who would have saw this coming? I think we said, well, there goes, the Justin Haak news because we just signed Glesnes. Well, Galaxy go out and sign Justin Haak.
Yeah.
This is incredible. Like, man, I don't know how we're doing this. But we went out and signed the best free agent center back right now. And then we went out and got an MLS top 11, best 11 former center back MVP in Glesnes.
Yeah.
So we went out and got two absolute defending studs.
All under wraps.
And it just comes out of the blue. Like, Justin Haak, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, man, that is amazing to me. I saw this news, and I am really excited now. I was concerned coming into the offseason that the Galaxy didn't see the defense as being as bad as I saw the defense, right? Like, well, if we had Pooj, it'd be different, and we kind of had a bad year, but we're gonna bounce back. Well, this is clear evidence that Will Kuntz saw the defense like I saw the defense and went, we need to invest in the defense.
Maybe he's been listening to the pod.
This is huge.
Yeah.
This is enormous, man. I mean, this is going to transform our defense into what they're counting on is one of the top defenses in the league.
Before we get to some of these links, can we just go to the stats that we talked about? Just
on the actual...
Yeah, so right there. So 34 games played, 34 games started. That's just the MLS season.
So this is his first year being an out-and-out starter, right? He started every game.
Yeah. Now, I was curious because when we mentioned him as one of the 5 best free agents that could potentially be signed in the entire MLS, we talked about, he might be able to do a little bit more than just being a center back. This signing, at least when I saw it that it was official, I'm like, we kind of signed 2 players in one.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely could play multiple positions.
Yeah, and I think that's really good because you could have him in a Glesnes pairing, which everybody's talking about. And then you have Cerrillo and Sanabria and Ricky in front of him, or Cerrillo, Winder, Ricky in front of him. Well, guess what? If Garces is playing lights out, well, you can have Glesnes, Garces, and Justin Haak on the field all at the same time just by moving Justin Haak up with Edwin Cerrillo, and then Ricky just does his thing.
Or you're winning late, and you can bring on more central defenders to help.
Yeah.
Which is, we really didn't have anybody. We had Zonka this year.
Yeah. And could you imagine that, you're seeing a game out with Glesnes and Justin Haak, and then you bring, we're just going to bring Garces on, to reinforce everything.
So this we said Glesnes was he was a former 6. He could be a ball playing center back, but Philadelphia doesn't really play a ball, like a possession type style. Glesnes kind of could. He might be able to fit in there. Well, Justin Haak is a ball playing center back.
Ball-playing center back,
So
yes.
this is a guy who he's good on the ball. 1 goal, 4 assists last year. He had the 1 goal in the Miami game, which we have the link right there in our show notes if you want to take a look at it. It was a great header. He's 24 years old.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. So in his prime, young. Now, if we look at the contract here, the Galaxy signed Justin Haak to a 1 year with an option for the second year, which is weird. There's something's going on here with this Justin Haak signing, and I'm not sure what it is. Follow me here.
Okay.
I've seen all the news. It's in our show notes. There's a get to know Justin Haak, around the league. If you follow, this is a guy born and bred in New York. He loves New York. When you're in that walk around, he's like, "This is the best city. I love this place." But he leaves New York. Now you might be saying, "Well, yeah, he left for money." Wrong. New York offered him more money than LA, according to Bogart. So he left New York and is signed for the Galaxy for less money.
Yeah, he took a pay cut.
I have no idea what's going on here. Now, if you follow, let's look at Bogart here. He says, "I've seen some confusion." This is from, sorry, not Bogart. This is Matt Doyle. "I've seen some confusion over Justin Haak accepting a 1-year deal from the Galaxy instead of taking a longer guaranteed deal from NYCFC. And unfortunately, you kind of need to be an MLS CBA sicko to understand all the math at play here," which we are not. So let me break it down for you.
Hold on. Pause real quick. The fact that he says that, you need to be a CBA sicko to understand that is, it just shows you where we are as a league.
It does.
But anyway, so.
It basically comes down to this segment. NYCFC could offer him whatever they wanted as part of the CBA, and LA or any other team could only offer him a maximum of $828K for 2026. That's the max salary they could offer him. So we don't know what the Galaxy offered him. We assume they offered him max. Mm-hmm. But NYCFC could have offered him million, 1.5 million, whatever they wanted, and bought it down with, he could have been a TAM signing. Anyways, he goes on to explain he would bet his life savings that the Galaxy has some kind of agreement with Haak that after this year, they will deny the option, and he will deny the option, and they will re-sign him on a long-term, larger contract. I guess that's just like a gentleman's agreement behind the scenes. But again, these are the things you have to do to build a roster in MLS.
Yeah.
You have to sign Haak, which you would love to see like a 5-year deal for Haak, right? That would be ideal. Like, man, we just signed Justin Haak for 5 years. We signed him for 1 year.
Yeah.
Which is not great. That doesn't sound good if you're a Galaxy fan. That sounds like, well, we're banking on this year. But Doyle's reporting he thinks they have some kind of agreement behind the scenes to where, they won't exercise that option and they'll sign him to a much larger contract next year and he'll be a Galaxy player for a while on a much larger contract, which is just crazy. So you have to circumvent all these rules just to get the guy you want to get, to build the team you want to build, like we talked about earlier, to build that consistency. You want Justin Haak to be a Galaxy player for many years. He's young. He could be a staple of this team, and you have to do all these crazy things to get it done.
Yeah, it's crazy because a 24-year-old who was on a team that made it that far in the playoffs, he's a day in, day out starter at 24. If we equate this to European soccer, that's like a mid-table team that overachieved, that maybe made it into like a top 5 or top 6, playing European competition. And if he were signed by one of the big clubs in any league, it guaranteed it would have been a 5-year contract, no questions asked. Why
he wouldn't sign for anything less? Why would he sign for anything less?
Exactly. But this is just where the restrictions of the league, money wise, comes into play, and
which is this is crazy. This is what's sad too. It's sad that Galaxy has to do this, right? That's sad. Whatever. We'll get over it. It's really sad for Justin Haak, who should be cashing in on a large contract, multi-year deal, guaranteed compensation.
Easily.
Instead, he's got a 1-year deal, and he's got to bank on himself, right? He's betting on himself for 1 year. And things have got to go well for Justin Haak this year in LA in order for him to cash in on this risk, basically, that he's taking.
Now, yeah, and
I mean, what if he gets hurt?
Well, that's where you looked at the. If you went back and looked at one of the tweets,
he said, barring an injury, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah. So like, say he does get hurt, the Galaxy would be like, okay, we're gonna take that second option. We're gonna take that second year.
You would hope, yeah.
Yeah, and then we're gonna do all this just a year later. Now, this could be something where you look at current contracts on the Galaxy and you look at money wise and you go, we're gonna give you this, no matter what you do, unless he has a howler of a year, which I doubt he will. Have, is we see you as a Galaxy player long term. We have these contracts that are expiring that we do not plan on renewing.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll free up a lot more money, and then we can start paying you what you're worth.
Or Galaxy's hoping, which they might be banking on, roster rules changing and more money coming in, and maybe they know something we don't, as in like, well, let's sign this for this year, but next year we anticipate, the roster restrictions kind of being removed, or the money coming up, and we'll have more money to pay for this.
Or the CBA, maybe they're going into renegotiation within the next couple of years, and that's on the table, something like that. So, yeah, that would be
something happened here, and I think we'll find out eventually what happened here. But for him to leave New York and being such a New York, I mean, he's from their academy. He signed from their academy. He loves New York, and he left. And New York offered him more money. He must have been, I mean, Kuntz must have sold him like a project, right? He must have seen what the Galaxy are doing and been like, this is something I want to be a part of. That's the only thing I can think of, right? That's how you get players to change, is you sell them on the project and you say, hey, look what we're doing here. We got Glesnes, we got Puig coming back, we got Paintsel and Peck. We got this forward in the works. We have,
We just signed Glesnes.
Yeah, we're going all in to win an MLS Cup this year, and maybe NYCFC is not saying the same things to him. They're not promising him, or they're not showing the ambition. That's a big thing, right? When players are looking at their prime, they want a club that's ambitious. They want a club that's meeting their ambitions, and maybe I don't know. Maybe NYCFC didn't show him the good faith of being as ambitious as he wanted to be.
Yeah. Yeah, and it may not even be showing him the ambition of himself. It's he sees teammates all around him. It's like, wait a second, this guy is in free agency with me. This guy, they said they're declining the option.
Right.
They aren't even looking at it. They aren't so.
Hey, I've dealt with this as an Arsenal fan for years. Thierry Henry left Arsenal because they kept promising him, hey, we're going to get you some help. We're going to get you some world-class players. Mm-hmm. And they just never did. He's like, well, I got to leave. And Van Persie did the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here, I'm a stud. But you're not showing the commitment to improve the team to win titles.
Yeah.
And you're right. He might see people coming and going too often, and he might see kind of business practices he doesn't agree with, and he wants to win something,
Yeah. And like I said, Will Kuntz may have promised him one of the spots in
I'm
that
excited,
project.
right?
Oh, I'm extremely excited.
As a Galaxy fan. So I think anyone from the outside looking in is going to say, like, what are the Galaxy doing? I think it was Bogart, I think I saw on a podcast recently, where he was like, the Glesnes thing, I never saw the Galaxy doing that. Like, I don't know where they're getting the money from. I don't know how they're doing this. He said that with the Glesnes thing, and now we go get Haak.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The one worry I have, I'm super excited. The one worry I have is who has to leave to make all this happen, right? The books have to be balanced at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, I mean, it sucks to say, but I would really, Yoshida needs to leave just to get that money, right?
And it might be like we said, they've kept all this under wraps.
Yeah.
So as far as we know, Maya Yoshida may be somewhere. He may not even be coming back to the Galaxy, as far as we know.
Right.
Or
someone's got to leave, right? I mean, here are the options. Because we were at the cap last year, so we only lost so far Zavaleta and Barry, who weren't making good money,
and Diego Fagundes.
Okay, we've added Glesnes at over $1 million a year, $2 million commitment over a couple of years, and we added Haak at presumably about $850K, very expensive.
Yeah, and that's at the most though.
That's at the most. Yes, the most. They couldn't pay him more than that. Mm-hmm. So the question is, like, I mean, I don't know. I see Yoshida leaving. I don't know if the Galaxy's willing to buy out Zonka's contract. You can buy out 2 players' contracts per year. So the Galaxy could pay Zonka and say bye-bye, and then he's off the books, but they overpay at that point. But it is, in my opinion, it's time to cut your losses with Zonka, but I don't know. I mean, if you let Zonka and Yoshida go, that leaves you with Glesnes, Haak, Garces, Rindolph. 4 pretty serviceable center backs. I think you're pretty good there. Of course, you could keep one more. You could hold 5 center backs. We did this year.
Well, and you could also pull from Ventura. You could
pull from Ventura, or we don't know what the Galaxy's thinking, right? They could be seeing Justin Haak as a 6 and doing a double pivot with Surreal and Haak.
They could be doing something like that. They could
just to put someone behind Ricky Pooge. That's gonna, if you put Surreal and Haak behind Ricky Pooge, now he's got a block behind him protecting him, and it gives Ricky Pooge a little bit more freedom.
Then Ricky can just kind of go and
so
do whatever he wants.
Yeah, so we don't know if they signed Justin Haak thinking he's going to be a starting center back, or if they signed Justin Haak thinking he's going to be a 6 and a double pivot, or if they signed him to take Surreal's place and Surreal's going to be on the bench. But I got to believe Garces is on the field, right? I got to believe Garces is on the field just because he saves you with his speed so much. It would be really strange not to have Garces on the field. So it's going to be interesting to see what Vanny does with these 3 center backs.
Well, it's a great problem to have.
It is an amazing problem to have.
And why I said we essentially signed 2 players in one.
Yes.
We essentially made 2 signings in the same player because he could be paired with Glesnes. He could be paired with someone in the midfield. How
great is it going to be for Garces to now be surrounded by 2 top defenders to maybe help him out a little bit more,
This could be the year that you see him as a player kind of find his role and like the maturity really get in there.
Right.
With Haak, who can come in and say, "Hey, we're 2 young guys, like I can do it. Let me kind of help you on the same path that I did to get there. You have an all MLS 11 center back next to him going."
What I wish though, and I don't know, I have to watch some more. I'm going to watch enough film on Glesnes or Haak to know this.
Well, you can't find film on Glesnes.
Well, you can go back and watch games on Apple TV, but Haak is a very soft-spoken person in every interview I've seen and him walking around. It doesn't mean he's not competitive. I'm just mean as a person, he's kind of soft-spoken. And I don't know what Glesnes is, but I would love to have one of those guys be a leader, a defensive. That's what I think Galaxy's been missing. More than just like, okay, we were bad. We've also been missing a defensive leader to take the reins and just have that passion and intensity in the defensive third to just lift everybody defensively.
Yeah.
It's been so quiet. It's been Surreal mostly. You see him get angry and stuff. You didn't see Yoshida. He kind of gets, he puts his head down a lot. Garces is Garces, right? He's just out there. He's not going to be a leader. So I hope Haak and Glesnes combined somehow elevate the intensity and the accountability at defense, I think, is the big thing, right?
Yeah.
The accountability, like if we hold and we keep Cuevas, please keep Cuevas, and he plays right back, hold him accountable then, right? Yeah. Like have someone that's going to hold him accountable and say, hey, you could get up, but you got to get back and you got to be on that back post and you got to challenge those crosses. We can't let this happen.
Yeah.
And we haven't had that. We got Mitrovic, who's a young keeper, and we just haven't had, I don't know.
Well, and so hearing you talk about that, hearing you talk about Cuevas, he has been an attacking threat. If you have Justin Haak, who's just very, very calm, very nice as part of that double six, and you go, Mauricio, yes, you have to get up and down, right? But if you go up and something happens and say Glesnes and Garces are playing together, hey, Garces just slides out to take that spot. Justin Haak just comes in, and you have a back four that's crazy. And
we're gonna have so many. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna have episodes where we'd have no idea what the tactics are gonna be. It could easily be he sits at a 6, and then build up slides between the two center backs as the ball playing build up, which pushes the wings up. Lots of teams do that.
Yeah.
We don't typically do that, but
and when Chelsea signed N'Golo Kante, this is what they got. They basically got someone who just said he was talking about soft spoken. I don't think you ever hear him speak a word if he's not on the field. But everybody ahead of him could do whatever he wants, and he sat there in front of the back line and made sure everything was fine.
Yep.
If we got our own version of that, holy cow, this could be unreal.
I'm very, very, very excited to see, because I was concerned coming in that they were going to spend on a forward, which of course they need to do, and not like the worst case scenario for me would have been like, hey, we re-signed Fagundes at $1.4 million.
Yeah.
We didn't invest in our defense, and we're going with Nascimento up top because we have faith in Ricky Puig. This speaks volumes to me that they understand it wasn't good enough. The defense wasn't good enough. We're reinvesting in defense. We have that last domino. I mean, we got one more. We just need a forward. We had a forward of this team, and if we don't lose too much, if not too much leaves, I would be slightly concerned if, let's say, Audi left and Cuevas both left. I'd be a little concerned. Like, where's the backup for Nelson now? I already like Audi better than Nelson. Not by much, but I like Audi better than Nelson. So if we lose Audi, because he's been rumored to be leaving every year, we only have Nelson. I don't know who else you put at left back. And then if we get rid of Cuevas, now we just have Yamane out there who's aging, and then Harbor Miller maybe as backup, which is fine, I guess, on the right. I just don't want to lose Cuevas. So,
yeah. But I don't want to lose him either.
But I gotta say, it's not looking good. With all these people coming in, something's got to go out, and it might end up being Yoshida and Zonka. And that would make room for the incoming people.
That's fine.
But it might not be. And if it's not Yoshida and Zonka, it's got to be Aude and or Cuevas, right?
Well, I at least with who's been rumored. But let's not worry about that right now. I'm going based off of what you said about talking about, the last domino kind of being that forward spot. As we do this signing where you strengthen more of the defense, this is almost pointing more towards a potential, at least I would love to see it, a potential of Paintsel moving up to the 9.
Okay, so let's
Harbor Miller taking that outside.
Tell me if this is correct. I might have to look this up.
Okay.
So Nascimento was So Nascimento was a U22 for the Galaxy this year. Okay. Now, I don't know the exact rules, but I can tell you that if the Galaxy go and get another U22 forward, that he only hits a salary cap for like $400,000.
Okay.
They could pay him $2 million, and he hits $400,000.
Okay.
So I think either Nascimento comes back. I don't know how happy they are with Nascimento. If they're still legitimately trying. It's very clear at this point we don't know anything, right? Because these things are coming at like, boom, we re-record a podcast, and the next day, like, yeah, we got Jacob Glesnes. What? We got Glesnes? What? Yeah. And then like, okay, wow, well, I guess we solidified our thing. Nope, you got Haak. You got Haak. What? Yeah. Now we got Haak? Like, and it's just out of the blue. Like, no one even knows what's going on.
No.
So I'm not sure if they're happy with Nascimento. If they are, I think Nascimento could be back now wasn't such a bad thing if he can stay healthy. I liked him.
Yeah, I don't know how a lone player hits.
Yeah, I think it's no matter what, it hits what they pay him. But because he's U22, there's only a max salary that it hits the salary cap.
So whether he is purchased as a full-time player or he's brought in on loan, correct, if he falls into the category or to a certain MLS,
you could have 3 U22s that are exempt from they go up to like 400,000, and then you can pay them whenever you want.
Okay.
So I could see that, or I could see them going and spending big money on. I mean, what if we go spend several million and we pay a guy $2 million or something a year, a U22 forward from another league, and we get a legit forward? I mean, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities the way the Galaxy's moving right now. It looks like the Galaxy want to win another cup.
Honestly, there's with everything that's happened that we've heard literally nothing about. Honestly, there's anything possible. You
would think you would have heard something about the Haak news because it's MLS.
Yeah.
And like, you would hear something.
At this point, with anything being possible, I mean, tell that Cristiano Ronaldo is coming in January.
I know.
I mean, I'm just
exactly. I mean, it could be anybody.
gonna call that.
So
Considering what I said about an aging forward not being true because he just retired. Yeah, at this point, Cristiano Ronaldo is coming.
It's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we could fill that forward spot with anybody that I'm also excited about, I mean, yeah, I mean, we might turn on the news tomorrow and it's like Joseph Martinez is playing for the Galaxy. Like, okay, well, dang, all right. Or hey, Christian Benteke just signed for Galaxy.
Real.
Dude, I mean,
it's
it would
crazy.
It could be anybody. So we don't know. But that's the last kind of thing. I thought it was the next thing, but apparently the Galaxy, rightfully so, I believe, went and said, we got to get even more defenders to fix our problems.
Yeah. And now comes the part where, like you said, do we sign some young 22-year-old striker from a different league? Now we go back to square one when we were talking about, do you sign known quantity or do you take a flyer?
It's a question. Someone? I hope they do it soon because things are moving faster. We're almost in January now, and I love the fact that they got these two MLS guys. We know who they are. We know what they can do. We got them early enough. They'll be in the team for preseason. That lets Vanny figure all this stuff out.
Well, as far as
or at
we
least
know,
implement everything he wants to do.
What if they already have a guy signed and then we're just like, oh, we're going to unveil you on New Year's Day. Just be like, Happy New Year, Galaxy fans. Here's your new forward.
That's weird. MLS broke the news for the Haak signing before Galaxy broke the news for the Haak signing. It was on MLS's front page before it was on Galaxy's page.
Yeah.
Which is...
I think the Galaxy just maybe wanted to get everything settled. So it may have been...
They're just... Galaxy's just big balling it, dude. They're like, hey, relax. We got this. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
You report, we're signing these people. And it's, I don't know.
So it could have been one of those things of like, yes, it's everything was submitted to MLS. They just agreed, like they didn't finalize it or they didn't post it until they agreed personal terms or something.
Man, I don't know. Chris, I am getting super excited though, bro, because I'm, as a defender myself, typically my favorite players tend to be defenders, and I haven't had a favorite Galaxy defender that was like consistent in a long time. Man, we got Glesnes and Haak. I love Cerrillo. That was my favorite player so far, the last couple of years, just because of defensive work he did, man. I'm excited to see these two play. I'm excited to see what they can bring. I'm excited not to give up 5 goals every single game we play. That'll be a positive, or give up a 96th minute equalizer or losing goal.
Yeah, we could do a deeper dive into these two guys as we watch more stuff, and maybe as we get closer to the start of training camp, to the start of Coachella, things like that. We could potentially do something like that.
So another thing that we talk about all the time is take a look at social media. Take a look at the NYCFC fans. What are they saying about Haak?
Oh yeah,
they're not very happy.
Oh, do you have that? Do you have that pulled up?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to look for it, but anyways, they're not happy. The blogs, there's some NYCFC like blogs that are going on, and no one is happy, which is great news for the Galaxy. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, if the team that you just got the guy from is fuming about how they lost him,
and both Glesnes and Haak are both, their teams are like, what are we doing letting these guys go?
Yeah, well.
That's great for Galaxy. All right, a couple last things here then. Last week we kind of rumored Lewandowski, which has been rumored to go to the Galaxy, which heck, I mean, at this point, you might see how the blue Lewandowski is now a Galaxy forward because his name was being said Miami made an offer for him. That never came from anyone official, but it was kind of being rumored that Miami actually made an offer to Lewandowski. Well, the strongest link now is Lewandowski going to the Saudi League. So that would just be a paycheck for Lewandowski at that point, which is, I mean, that's fine, but I just thought we'd cover it because we've been talking about Lewandowski. Maybe we can do something on a TAM deal. That's going to be really hard to do if the Saudi League's coming in for him unless we sell him on either the project or the city of LA itself and the lifestyle, which could also be done as well.
Well, if you know anything about Barcelona's finances, he may need a paycheck because he may not have been paid in a while.
Possibly.
It's very possible considering, Barca still have, I think the last time I saw it, 9 figures of unpaid transfer fees to certain teams. I can only imagine how bad that is if it gets even worse into players, like weekly wages, that could be bad. So yes, maybe it's one of those things where he's just like, what? A paycheck sounds nice.
That is a thing. That is a thing in world football, is these teams not paying their players occasionally. Everywhere. Europe, South America. You know where it's not? MLS.
The MLS.
So that's one good thing about all these roster rules and the way that they've financially grown and they've been financially responsible is we're on solid ground financially as a league, and these teams are on solid ground. You don't have that problem. Even Maya Yoshida said when he was in Italy or something, they didn't pay him for like 2 months or so at one point because they were just crazy. And that's an Italian top tier team. Yeah. So, something to be said for MLS and some of these rules that we don't understand are crazy. How about Julian Araujo? We love Julian Araujo. We talked about him a couple weeks ago. He's at Bournemouth right now on loan from Barcelona, not playing at Bournemouth. He was on the bench the last couple of games, I noticed, but I never made the matches. Well, Celtic is interested in Araujo, and the manager at Celtic is now the Columbus Crew manager. What's his name?
I don't know, but he's having a rough go of it.
Well, I think he's turned it around a bit, hasn't he?
They're back to being up top.
Yes, he did lose about 4 games in a row. Yeah. But I saw in the last, there was some very positive news. Wilfred Nancy is the coach's name, by the way. He was at Columbus Crew, and he's now at Celtic. There was a very famous Celtic player that said he's never seen Celtic play the way they played the other day, where they had like 28 shots on goal. He was like, it was incredible. I've never seen this type of game, these type of tactics. So maybe Nancy, and I'm rooting for him, turns that around. But he's also interested in bringing Julian Araujo to Celtic.
That'd be really nice because at least, I still call Julian Araujo pseudo-American, even though he chose to play for Mexico. But Celtic has been very good to guys coming from North America and playing. I mean, they've been champions the last however many years in a row. I can't keep count of that one. But the Celtic captain is American defender Cameron Carter-Vickers, at least when he's not injured. But
exactly.
Yeah. But honestly, Celtic and being in Scotland is great because you're getting European football. Celtic's in the Champions League, so you're getting Champions League experience. So as a former Galaxian, I hope he gets.
I think it's a good move for him.
Yeah,
I think it's a great move for him. I think he could find some success there. In a system that Nancy likes to play, I think he'd be very type of player that Wilfred Nancy wants.
Yeah, absolutely, especially as a flying wingback.
Right.
It would be great for him.
Yeah. So I think that's good news. I hope that goes through because I'm a huge Julian Araujo fan and hope he does well. I hate to see him on the bench over there, man. I mean, he left Galaxy as a superstar rising. Yeah. And then Barcelona didn't work out. Obviously, I think we all knew that wasn't going to work out, at least initially.
It's really weird because the last few outside backs that have come from, or at least North American outside backs that have gone to Barcelona, I don't know if it's just a matter of, you're North American and they're just being snobbish.
I think there's a little bit of that. And even Pulisic says you have to overcome some of that as an American over there.
And because you see Serginho Dest right now playing at PSV and he's killing it.
I mean, Serginho Dest is so good.
But before that, when he was at Barcelona, it was like you'd see him every third game. You go, wait a second.
Yeah,
he's the starter in his national team. He was starting when he was in Holland when he was at Ajax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because he went.
I don't know.
He went from somewhere in Holland to Barcelona, back to PSV, and then he went on loan at AC Milan or something.
Yeah, he was at AC Milan
because he's at PSV right now again. But he's just running the show at that right back spot is his spot.
Yeah,
and Julian Araujo was that was his spot when he was with the Galaxy. goes to Barcelona, doesn't get a lot of time, goes to Bournemouth, not getting a lot of time, and it's just like
it's so sad to see. I hate that. That's the risk you take though when you move overseas, and especially when you move to a team like Barcelona. You're taking a major career risk.
Yeah,
when moving to Barcelona, that was a bad move. I think we both agreed. Or we agreed that was a bad move when it first happened. I wasn't happy with that move.
Yeah.
When he went to Bournemouth, I was kind of happy. I was like, okay, Bournemouth is pretty good. They don't play like sloppy soccer. So I thought, okay, this is a place he can be successful. Adams is there. Mm-hmm. I mean, he didn't play for the American team, but Adams is American, and he kind of understands where Araujo's from, at least a little bit. So I thought, okay, this is a good fit. And then he did play initially, and then just fell out of favor and hasn't been able to get back in. So hopefully Celtic is good for him. Mm-hmm. Last couple things here. Alex Alcala, I kind of remember this happening a couple of years ago when Man City signed Alex Alcala from our academy, and we kept, I think, a 20% sell-on clause. Well, it hasn't worked out for Alex Alcala at Manchester City. Mm-hmm. And Manchester City is now selling him to the Mexican team. I don't even know how to say that. Do you know how to say that?
Querétaro?
Is that how you say it?
I don't know. That's just
Querétaro. That's how I was going to say it.
I'm just trying to
Querétaro
sound
FC.
it out.
So he's going to the Mexican League. We don't know how much, but obviously Manchester City is going to sell him to that Mexican team, and we have like a 20% sell-on clause we get, and then we could convert like 80% of it to monopoly money if it's less than $2 million, if it's over this. So I don't know. This could be something.
There's our Justin Haak.
This could. I mean, I don't know what this fee is. I can't imagine it's very large, right? But this could be something that fuels a little bit. You can turn this transfer money into general allocation money, at least partially. So it could be something that's fueling all this.
Even at, say it's like a $2 million sell from City to this team, that's $400,000 to Galaxy, depending on whether it's monopoly money or whatever.
I think you can convert quite a bit of that into money. Yeah. And then this is not this is just MLS news, but I thought I'd bring it up. DC United is finalizing a contract for Japanese left back and wing back. How do you say his name, Chris?
Kaisuke Kurokawa.
There you go. 28 from Gambo Osaka in the J1 League in Japan. And I'm only bringing this up because we're seeing a lot of Japanese players. Well, the doors, not a lot, but the doors, I think, been opened a lot because of, I think, Yoshida Yamane. I gotta believe the Galaxy has something to do with opening that door to Japan, and now another player is coming from Japan, and I think this is a great market for MLS.
Yes, yeah, because obviously the MLS being better than the J League, and he is a little older. He is 28. This could be something where he looks at as okay. If he gets signed into the MLS, great spot to play better soccer and make his name, and maybe he finishes out his career in the MLS and he's happy with that. Awesome. Say another Japanese player, a young Japanese kid, 22, 23, gets signed by an MLS guy. That could be his launch pad to potentially somewhere continental Europe.
You just think like if you're in the J League right now and you're playing pretty well and MLS is interested, now you have a couple players you can call and say, hey, how is MLS? Mm-hmm. And if Yoshida Yamane are saying good things, and then Kurokawa says good things, it opens the door. Yeah. And I think it's a good fit because, Japanese play style is, hard work hard, be very vigilant and athletic. And that's a lot of that fits into MLS pretty well. Like they're not going to come here and be like, well, I'm getting outworked, which some European guys come here and be like, man, it's just like a track meet out here. Everyone's running. Mm-hmm. But I think if you're coming from J League and you're in that Japanese ecosystem of soccer, they work hard. So they're coming here and they fit in pretty well as far as the culture of the league and how you have to run a lot and work a lot, and it's pretty athletic.
See, we talk about a lot, at least when we've talked about who the Galaxy should sign, we always mention somewhere in Central South America. Maybe we need to start talking more about looking at some younger Japanese guys, some younger guys from South Korea.
That's why I bring this up. I think this is great. Yeah. I mean, they are an emerging market, first of all, in world soccer, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this is a great fit, not just for MLS, but I think for Japanese players.
Yes.
To leave the J1 league and come here. It's a little bit bigger exposure. They fit in pretty well. So I don't know. I thought it was just a good story because I like to think Galaxy had a big part in this in bringing over those 2 Japanese players.
Yeah, especially because you bring them over and then you see all the pictures when they win the MLS Cup and you have those 2 guys holding the MLS Cup with the Japanese flag draped over their shoulder. It's really cool, especially for younger Japanese players who want to go and go, man, that would be really cool to go follow what these guys are doing.
I think those Asian markets are very enticing, even like South Korea.
Yes.
Like we should be getting some South Korean players. I think it's a market we haven't looked into enough.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it. Kobe Jones Club has a new video up with Steve Cherundolo, which is the old LAFC coach. He left LAFC this year, but he's a former captain of USA Soccer. An amazing right back for USA Soccer. Very well respected amongst the teammates and coaching staff and everything. He was a stud. Played in Germany for a lot of years. I think he's going back to Germany to live with his family. I think his family never really moved here. So he was kind of coaching in LA, but his family's living in Germany. So he's moving back, I think, to Germany with his family. And so there's an interview between Kobe Jones and him who know each other well because Cherundolo was the captain and when Kobe Jones was on the team. And I didn't watch it, but it's worth a watch. I'm assuming I'll probably watch it later, but just official Galaxy. It's on the official LA Galaxy channel. Go check it out. And I think the title says like he talks a little about coaching in MLS. So that's kind of why I want to watch it. I want to see what his take is on coaching MLS. I'm sure he's going to bring up, I don't understand these dang roster rules. So
that'd be great.
I want to see if that comes up. So, but that's about it. Our email is finalthirdgalaxypodcast@gmail.com. If you have anything a little bit longer or anything to send us like media or anything, you can send it to us at finalthirdgalaxypodcast@gmail.com or just leave a comment on one of our videos, and we'd love to hear from you. If you're watching and you made it this far, leave a comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you want us to talk about. What's your opinion? Do you agree? Do you disagree with anything we said? How excited are you with all this transfer news? It's amazing. The Galaxy are back. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Very exciting.
Well, as always, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching, hit the thumbs up. Thanks for everything. Keep we love doing this, and we're gonna do it like we said before, with or without you. But we're glad you're here, and we super appreciate you listening to us.
And I was a little premature last episode, saying that was the last episode of 2025, but
we thought maybe
so. But
then Santa left a Christmas present
in the form of Justin Haak, so we came in and talked about it. So hope you guys did enjoy your holidays. Happy New Year from the TFT Galaxy podcast. And
absolutely.
Now we will officially see you in 2026.
Yes, we will. With probably another new sighting. We can't wait.
Hopefully.
Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, thanks, guys.